Look around and see who's with you today in this second service of Agape, and be aware it's the first service, actually. The first service for you, and again, the first service for me. So look around the room and just bless the beings who are around with you today, and feel that they've already been washed over with affirmation and purpose statement and meditation and song and chant and reading, and now they're being washed over by you. You're blessing these sweet beings that are around you with your soft eye and wanting for these beings the very best that life has to offer by their receptivity to it. We're including the love streamers in this as well. And as you're looking at these beings, come closer and look at one of the beings sitting right next to you and look that being up and down. Because this being is unique. This being is unique. There's no other being like this being on the planet, you included. And look at that being and say, oh my God, the Rev is right. You are unique, one of a kind. There's no one else exactly like you. You've got some love to share. You've got some joy to give. You've got some prosperity to circulate. You've got some genius to activate. You've got some gifts to circulate. As only you can. And as you do this, and as I do this, we change the world for the better. Oh, let's do this together in the here and now. And so it is. Touch and agree. Feel the power of prayer. Feel the power of connection. Feel the power of community that raises your immunity. And feel into the vibrational frequency of our ongoing theme for the month, which begins today, which is, some of you are feeling very enthusiastic, so why don't you just go ahead and clap your hands, and as they say in the old church, give God a hand praise. and just feel that bubbling up enthusiasm that's within you. Enthusiasm is in Theos, is in God. And we're here in our community on a regular basis doing spiritual technology and doing the very best that we can every single day of our life, because we're moving from the conspiracy for mediocrity to the divine conspiracy. We have to acknowledge, of course, there is a conspiracy for mediocrity. And that when you live in a high-tech, low-touch society that's hell-bent on materialism and consumerism, the signs that come at you all of the time are about there's something outside of you, something that you don't have, something that you're missing that will make you happy, that will make you whole, that will make you complete. And so there is a conspiracy that runs rapid through the human consciousness that has that particular message in it. And if you're not protected by a community that gives you the immunity against that, or a family that knows the difference, you can grow up with a sense of commercialism and a sense of materialism and think that there's always something wrong with you unless you have, and then you name the blank, whatever someone else has that you don't have at that particular moment. There is a conspiracy for mediocrity that seeks to dumb you down, that seeks to keep you in a level of fear and agitation and worry all of the time, so that the next commercial that will come on will give you some kind of pharmaceutical for that, so that you can, for temporarily, you can have a sense of bliss and a sense of joy and a sense of harmony until the next thing to worry about comes up, whether it's the flu, whether it's the measles, or whatever the case may be. Now, I just say that because I remember when we were growing up, they had measles parties. Everybody's going to get it. Now it's an epidemic, and billions of dollars are being made on vaccinations. Anyway, it's a whole other story, but you hear what I'm not saying. Now, so there's this conspiracy for mediocrity that runs the gamut of the human condition, and there is, and that conspiracy for mediocrity, we participate in it unwittingly. We participated unwittingly by not thinking. We participated unwittingly by poor inquiry and by a lack of gratitude. In other words, individuals haven't been trained or inspired to think They do what is called information shuffling. That is, there's no real thinking or insights or revelations going on a regular basis. It's just a shuffling of information and opinions to suit the day and whatever it is that you're facing in that particular moment. You have a ready set opinion, a ready set perception, and a ready set reaction to whatever it is that you're facing. It is information shuffling, and it is not real thinking. We are here in a spiritual community to have a level of encouragement about our spiritual practice so that we move out of information shuffling and into an availability for insight and revelation, as we talked about in the earlier service, so that that which is transcendental, that which is real, that which is forever can begin to grab a foothold in our awareness so that the eternal can break through us as the love and the kindness and the peace and the joy and the intelligence, the creativity and the generosity of the soul. We have to open ourselves up to this kind of insight. Now, that kind of insight is called real thinking. That whenever we move ourselves into a larger paradigm, a larger way of thinking, a larger way of seeing, and we catch and embody something we previously didn't know, that's thinking, you see? To the regurgitated opinions that we've had from days in the past is not thinking. So we are participating in the conspiracy for mediocrity by not thinking. We participate in the conspiracy for mediocrity by, what did I say earlier? Because it sounded really good. Oh, poor inquiry. And that is, individuals are living with a lack of affirmative inquiry or appreciative inquiry. They're asking poor questions of life and poor questions of the law. They're constantly asking, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with life? What's wrong with this picture? Who's to blame? They live in a state of poor inquiry. And therefore, the law of mind in action that can operate on your vibrational frequency and the questions that you ask will have a tendency to answer those questions for you. You ask an inquiry around what's wrong with you, and the law will do its best to find out. And it will dig up hereditary patterns, things that happened to your ancestors, and it will dig up all manner of things and say, here's what's wrong with you. You see, and you'll say, oh, great, I got an answer. But you'll still be in the vibratory frequency of mediocrity, you see? And so the inquiry that we participate in is an appreciative inquiry. What's right with me? You know, who am I? What am I? Where am I? Whose am I? We ask a different kind of question. And the law goes to work, and you begin to hear, oh my God, I belong to the presence. Oh my God, I belong to excellence. Oh my God, there's so much good flowing through me. I didn't know this until I asked the question. And so we practice this mediocrity, this mediocre living by poor inquiry. And then we get involved in this conspiracy for mediocrity by a lack of gratitude. If you stop and look at your life sometimes, and really honestly take a look at it, sometimes you can basically pinpoint some of your major issues to a lack of gratitude. You can actually see where complaining began to speed up and take over gratitude and appreciation until the whole perception became what was wrong, what's not working, what isn't going well. And when you really stop and get into an appreciative inquiry or a sense of gratitude about your life and who and what you are, you see, much of your life is so wonderful. And we have the tendency to get into this mediocre living by substituting complaining for gratitude. Do you realize that complaining is oftentimes just a habit? It's just a habit. It just spins and spins and spins. And sometimes we're addicted to that habit. And then we find ourselves kind of at loss when we don't have anything to complain about. I know there's a few of you in here. It's like everything. So we try to help you out. So that if you start to feel addicted by something to complain about, we do some things for you. If you look at your bulletin right now, on the front it says March. It should say April. Now, that's by design. We realized there was so much perfection going on, and that there were new people coming to the community, and if they don't find something to complain about, they're not going to come back. So we had to give them something. I'll always remember there was a young lady that would come to Agape, and she would always, if she was dating, she would always make sure when it started to get serious, she would say, well, you got to come to my community first, and if that works out, then maybe we can go a little further. So she brought one young man to the community, and, it was really powerful service, and as he left, he said, I don't know if I can come back here. I don't feel bad the way I normally feel when I leave my church. I don't feel like a sinner. I don't feel like I've done something wrong, that I'm bad, I said, I can't come back here anymore. And so, of course, she stopped dating the young man. But this participation in the conspiracy for mediocrity, it does start with the poor inquiry, the lack of thinking, and complaining superseding gratitude. But then there is a divine conspiracy. Underlying all the stuff that's going through the human consciousness, there's a life essence. We call it the presence that's never an absence. We call it God, the God power, the life that's alive with itself, teeming with itself, everywhere in its fullness. That which spawned us, that which recreated itself after its own image and its own likeness. Life is alive. It's full to overflowing with itself. And it is conspiring, as we have said from time to time, it is conspiring for your spiritual liberation. It's conspiring for your freedom. It's conspiring for your inhibition. It's conspiring for you to be set free so that this life essence, this God essence, can really know itself as your life. Understand what I'm saying here. You looked into each other's eyes a little bit earlier and you said that you were a one-of-a-kind, unique expression of the infinite. That is not a throwaway statement. There never will ever be another one of you. And so this presence that's never an absence recreated itself after its own image and likeness and named you after itself. You're a chip off the old block. Named you after itself, that it could know itself as your life. Now, it already knows itself. It is totally conscious of itself. It is intelligence itself. It is love itself. It's life itself. But it wants to know itself as you. You have infinite potential as a unique expression of the presence of God. And so there's a conspiracy for your waking up to this. There's a conspiracy for your availability. There's a conspiracy going on underlying all the things that are going on in life. It shows up as synchronicity. It shows up as coincidence. It also shows up as hard knocks. It also shows up as seeming negative things that are pushing you in a particular way. But it's a conspiracy that life can have its way with you and be you. Life wants to be you, totally and completely. But you have to participate in it. You cannot merely be enthralled by God. You have to be involved with God. In being just merely enthralled is the beginning step. Oh, that was great. Did you see the stars at night? Magnificent. Did you hear Tyler sing? That is fantastic. It made my soul tingle. Did you see? Yes, it's okay to be enthralled, but you have to be involved. You've got to participate in your own unfolding. You've got to participate in it. And so the question is, are you ready for you? Are you ready for you? Yes? Are you ready for you? Because you, as a distinct singular manifestation of a cosmic unfolding and waking up to that, you have to be ready for you. You see? In other words, you've got to be ready for greatness. Some of you are afraid of that word. Oh my God, I felt it. Great. I'm cool. My rent's paid. That's all I need. I'm good. My body's great. No, that's for other people. No, 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 no. Are you ready for you? There's a conspiracy for your greatness. And you know what greatness is? Greatness is finding and fulfilling your purpose. That's what greatness is. It's finding and fulfilling your purpose as only you can. And so to dissolve the conspiracy for mediocrity, you have to wake up and say in substance, I am willing to be great. I'm willing to find and fulfill my purpose. Now everyone has the same purpose, which is to reflect and to reveal the cosmos as only you can, but everyone has different missions. And so as to how you reveal that purpose of your life. And so I want you to just embrace the vibratory frequency of greatness. And I know that one of the things that keep people from stepping into this vibration is that they are aware that in the conspiracy for mediocrity, if you go for greatness and excellence, you'll have the tendency to be put down and talked about and that type of thing. A lot of women sometimes are afraid to be great because when they stepped into power, they were burned at the stake. A lot of men are afraid to be great because they're afraid that they're going to be pulled down and talked about. And so this fear of greatness is in the human condition. But you're more than human. You are a spiritual being. And so being ready for you, as the Course of Miracles would say, readiness is a prerequisite for accomplishment. Yes. There must be a level of readiness. Are you ready for you? Yes. Are you ready to be great? Yes. Okay, so in this readiness, you're developing the vibratory prerequisite for all that you are to accomplish as a spiritual being, having a human incarnation. So there is greatness, and then there is genius. I want you to begin to contemplate genius. As Walter Russell reminds us, mediocrity is self-inflicted, genius is self-bestowed. And we want to catch this now, because oftentimes when people think of genius, again, they're enthralled by other people's genius, but they don't apply it to themselves. And they will put it outside. You want to begin to embrace that there's a genius unfolding within you. That there is an individual within you that can have a level of attentiveness to the perfecting of, or the unfolding of their perfect soul, a level of attentiveness to high thought and high conversation, a level of attentiveness to spiritual practice, so that the genius within you can begin to express itself. So here we have individuals that are afraid of greatness, individuals that are afraid of their unfolding genius, and in that consciousness, you're participating in mediocrity. You don't want to look back over your life and say that you lived a mediocre life, that you just kind of made do. You just kind of just floundered around. No, 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 no. Greatness, genius, and the third G is grace. Now, this is what grace is. Grace is the total givingness and givenness of the Spirit. I want you to just feel into this now. The Spirit of the living God, being everywhere in His fullness, is always giving itself. As you've heard me say, there's a broadcast that's always happening. The word or the vibration or the frequency of well-being, the frequency of beauty, it's everywhere. No on and off button in it. The givingness and the givenness, it's here, it's now. We can't make grace happen, but we can be available to it. We can be available to it. With greatness, you're finding and fulfilling your purpose. Genius, you're paying attention so that your moment by moment by moment attentiveness is not being wasted. Frivolity. Grace, availability. 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 And asking yourself, what do you really want? Mark Twain once said, I can tell anybody how to get what they want, but most of the time they don't know what it is. I'm talking about your soul desire. Skimming on the surface of society, you think you know what you want because you've seen all the commercials. And you've seen all the things you think you should want to be happy. But what does your soul want? What is the mature wanting? Now, if you become still enough and ask yourself, what do I really want? There will be a call that begins to spring forth from the depth of your being. It's the call to greatness. It's the call to the activation of genius. It's the call to the receptivity of grace. What do I really want? Not what the television says I should want. What do I really want? It will begin to speak to you. It's a calling. It will begin to pull you. It's a calling. It will begin to announce itself through you. It's a calling. It will rise above the din of confusion, the calamity and the sensationalism and the excitement of the world. It will rise above that, and it will begin to speak to you about why you chose to have this incarnation. It will speak to you about your heart. It will speak to you about your mind. It will speak to you about the activation of your gifts. It will speak to you about your purpose. It will speak to you about how you must be ready for really you. And that the you that you think you have been may be just a prefabricated thought form that you inherited from a parental fantasy or a societal fantasy or a miseducational fantasy. But there is a real you must be ready for. It's the Christ consciousness. It's the God within you. It's life itself. And you must be ready for this you. You must embrace it, because it is going to upset the other you's life. It's going to make some things go haywire from time to time. It's going to put you through some changes. But if you're ready for you, there's a triumph, and there's a joy, and there's a harmony, and there's a life, and there's a love, and there's a beauty. Take the breath with me right here. Release. I want you to wrap your vibratory frequency, your attention, around the word greatness. I don't want you to slough it off anymore. I want you to just take that in. Real greatness lies in one being, their real self, finding and fulfilling their dynamic purpose. Greatness. Yes? Yes. Wrap your attention around genius. We already know that mediocrity is self-inflicted. It's that which we do to ourselves by poor thinking, poor inquiry, and a lack of gratitude. Wrap yourself around genius. Genius. Whatever your lot in life is to be, you can be a genius at it. Genius. Asmar just popped into my mind, an old friend that passed over that was a genius in terms of his capacity to be the greatest plumber that he could be. When he'd walk into a house, he could feel the pipes. He knew where the problem was. And he'd always do more than what he was asked. He was a genius at that. Where is your genius? Where is your genius? Can you ask that kind of question instead of what's wrong with my life? What's wrong with me? Where is my genius? What is my genius? Do you realize it takes just as much energy to ask that question, and the universe will answer it? Where's my genius? Where's my genius? Where's my genius? What is my genius? Wrap your feeling vibratory frequency around grace. that you don't have to beg or plead or cajole. It's already given. You have to receive it. You have to be the right condition for it. You have to be available to it. What do you want? Not surface, not societal. The societal good is the bare minimum of an individual on the spiritual path. The good, the beautiful, the good, the true, and the beautiful. The good is harmlessness. The true is our spiritual laws and science matching. The beautiful, the aesthetics that reveal the elegance of the universe. Your life is to reveal all three. What do you want? Your soul is answering you right now. And so as we begin this month with this theme, once we're aware that there is a conspiracy for mediocrity, a conspiracy to dumb you down, a conspiracy to keep you in fear and worry, a conspiracy to keep you feeling separate from life and separate from each other, a conspiracy around lack and scarcity and not enoughness, a conspiracy for your mind to be filled with future heavens rather than, and future enlightenments, conspiracy rather than heaven is at hand, here and now. I'm already enlightened. I'm simply removing the obscurations of my mind. We know there's a conspiracy for mediocrity. But now we know there's a divine conspiracy, something working behind the scenes for your freedom. That this presence of God's love and beauty and joy and elegance and abundance and creativity may know itself as your life. That you move from enthralled, which is a wonderful thing, to involved with spiritual practice. So that greatness, genius, grace is where you live. What's my genius? What do I want? What's my genius? What do I want? What's my genius? What do I want? On a soul level. Now the entire universe finds you. You're ready. Your readiness as a prerequisite for all that you will accomplish vibrationally is there. And nothing can stop it. There's nothing in the world more powerful than that divine spiritual idea from the cosmic idea sphere that has been amplified and embraced and accepted by one who knows that they're born for greatness. Not comparison with anyone else. The greatness of your soul. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop it. You will be you. Are you ready for you? Yes. Are you ready for you? Yes. Are you ready for the real you? Yes. The authentic you? Yes. The essential you? Yes. The unique you? Yes. The spiritual you? Yes. Are you ready for you? Yes. Oh, let's take a breath right here. Release. As we're releasing, we're sloughing off all agreements with mediocrity. We're sloughing off all images of ourself that are not in keeping with the fundamental harmony of God itself. We're sloughing off all perceptions of ourself that we've inherited from other people, that we agreed with unwittingly and unconsciously. And we step into the vibratory frequency of God knows who I am. God knows what I am. And I am here to fulfill the presence in a way that has never happened before. As only I can, as only you can. Say it with me right now. I am willing to be great. I am willing to shine my light come what may. I am open to the grace of God. And it is happening right now. Oh, let's turn within together this morning as we're in communion with each other. We're in communion with the presence of God. You know, foreign substances, they can never commune. They always separate. Oil and water, vibrational frequency is so different that the communion never lasts. But you're at one with God. You can commune with God all the time. You can stop and ask and questions that are empowering. You can stop and pray. You can stop and meditate. You can stop and bless. You can stop and allow for that creative urge to take you over. You can stop and stop and stop and be still. And begin to feel into the vibratory frequency of gratitude, which takes you out of the field of mediocrity. Oh, when you begin to replace your gratitude with the complaining that comes from the world, oh my God, the body temple will begin to be inclined towards beauty and wholeness. The mental body, clarity. The emotional body, purity. The body of your affairs, elegance and beauty and order. We step into gratitude right now. Someone say, I'm grateful. Someone say, I am thankful. I'm appreciative. Oh, we step into the field of gratitude right now. And we begin to see now. You notice you're not, with your eyes closed, you're not seeing with the eyes anymore. You're not even hearing with your ears. No. Something else is activated. It's a faculty, a soul faculty of seeing and hearing with consciousness. Presence is everywhere. We see it. God is everywhere. We see the presence. Love is everywhere. We see it. Beauty everywhere. We see it. Abundance, elegance everywhere. We see it. Now we're involved with it with this prayer. The word is spoken that we may be free. Free enough to be healthy. Are you willing to be healthy? I mean, really, really, really. Breaking the habit of sickness. Health is the order of the day. I speak that into manifestation for everyone here now. Everyone listening, I speak health. I speak wholeness. I speak well-being. I speak wellness. I speak vitality and vigor. I speak strength and flexibility, power, poise, confidence, beauty. I speak abundance, prosperity. I speak an ever-increasing joy. I speak a real happiness. I speak a dynamic peace that passes human understanding. As I speak it, it manifests. There is nothing in me that denies the word that I am speaking. And as I am lifted up in this dynamic atmosphere, I dare say I draw all of these beings into the same frequency. Something wonderful is happening. Say it. Say it. Say it. In this vibratory frequency of readiness, which is a prerequisite for all accomplishment, the readiness of something wonderful is happening. Oh! Something wonderful is happening, yes! With our dynamic surrender to more good than we could possibly imagine. It's happening right now. Oh! Maybe give them a vibrational taste, a sample.
What am I to do? What am I to feel? I am like a child with me still. Listening in the silence, even in the sadness, everywhere you are.
That's it. As we surrender to the heart of God, as you're feeling those soulful riffs by Ricky Rouse right now. Feel the vibration of the prayer moving through this music. Oh, somebody's being blessed. Somebody's being uplifted. Somebody's being healed. Perhaps it's Rocky Valencia's brother Evelyn. Come on, Ricky. That's it right there. Take the hand of the person next to you. As the house band and Ricky took us there. Feel it. Feel your own greatness. God's greatness through you. Feel your own genius. God activated in you. Feel your receptivity to grace. Feel it. Bring somebody to your mind right now that needs your assistance, prayer assistance. And surrender to the vision of excellence where they are concerned. Let go of the worry right now, the doubt, the fear, the anxiety. Surrender to the vision of excellence. Let your soul surrender to the vision of excellence in your life and the life of those you're holding in prayer and the life of those we're holding in prayer as a community. Brenda, our usher, her dad, appears to be in transition. Where he is, God is right now. We now give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. Be strong enough to give thanks. Be gracious enough to give thanks. Be powerful enough to give thanks. Have spiritual manners. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. We give thanks as we let it be now and unto forevermore. And so it is. Now, so be it.